The media browser is in Premiere 6 and is a great way of getting clips in. I actually use the media browser most of the time to bring my clips in. It's great for card-based footage, so for example for AVC HD. This particular folder here, if I bring it up in Explorer, you can see it's got a folder with a subfolder and another folder, and eventually I get to the clips. With the media browser, you click on the main folder and it just shows you the clips. It stitches together span clips. It does all sorts of really cool things. Does a few nice things as well in the Creative Cloud version. One of the nice things it can be useful for is importing footage from other projects. Now my project here is on the G drive in a folder called Premiere. Little asterisk is telling me it's not been saved recently, so I'm just going to save it. And then I'm going to start a new project, which let's just call this something else. I'd like to bring some of those things from that other project into this one. You can do File and then Import and then Project. But that brings in everything. What's really nice here is I can go to a folder where I've got a project and I can double click on the project file in that folder. So this is my other project, and then wait for a second for it to find what's in there, and oh, there we are. It's actually showed me all the bins which are in there. It showed me the sequences that are in there, and you know, if I want to bring in a sequence like this one, you just drag it and drop it into the timeline. It brings in the sequence and whatever clips are needed for it. Want to bring that in? Bring that bin in. But it's just a great way of being able to go to other projects and bring stuff into this project without having to bring everything in. Worst thing that can happen to a project is you get loads and loads of clips inside of it, loads of folders, and it gets a complete mess and you can't find anything, which will happen if you just bring things in willy-nilly. Maybe I want to nick a few things from a couple of other projects. Well, you don't want to bring in everything. This is great. Lets you bring in just specific things. It doesn't upset the other project either. That other project will just sit there doing nothing. It doesn't move any clips, so if these HDV clips, for example, were sitting on an external hard drive and I brought them in from the other project, they're still sitting on the external hard drive. Unplug that hard drive, they'll be missing in this project, just as they'll be missing in the other one. It doesn't make new media, it doesn't use up lots of space, it's just a great way of bringing stuff in. Another thing you can do is you can have more than one media browser going. Now it's not immediately obvious how you get to that. You might think you'll go up to Window and Workspaces, or Window and Media Browser or something, or you might go File and New. Well, none of those ways can I actually make up a new version of the media browser. How you do it is you go to the little stack. As I said before, there's always a little stack in the top of all of these windows and they let you do things. And in this case, click there. Oh, it lets you make up a new media browser panel, which maybe I could move down here. I've now got two of them. Why is that useful? Pretty simple. You could just have them pointing at two different places. So I've got a folder full of stuff here. Leave that one open, and I can leave this one open pointing to the other project, so I can drag in clips from there. Again, it's a way of just helping you to limit the amount of stuff you actually bring into the project, which is always a good thing. The less bloated a project is, the better. There is always the brilliant remove unused under the edit heading. That's been there for ages and a lot of people seem to forget about it. But basically, if you bring in a whole ton of clips and you only use 3 of them, why bother to keep the unused ones in there? You can click on that and it removes all the unused ones. So that's a nice way of sort of trimming down the amount of stuff actually in a project. But the media browser is another nice way of doing it. And now you can have lots of them.